Hey everybody, it's Asic Eric again, and today I am going to get the single stage urethane on the bottom of the car here. Last time we were here we got this in DPLV primer, and now we're going to go through and get the single stage on it. It's kind of hard to tell the difference. I'm not even sure you can easily hear from on camera what's single stage and what's not. The single stage is shinier though. I mean the primer. So here's the primer here, and here's some of the single stage over here. So you see this is a satin black and this is more of a semi-gloss. So first thing I have to do is decide where I'm gonna make my boundaries here. See, last time we masked off along the edges here. So I'm gonna have to sand this stuff a little bit to make sure I have a nice smooth edge, and then decide where to start and stop everything. So in these cases here, I stopped before I got to the frame rails here, so that's easy. Here I'll just go ahead and run it all the way to the back. This frame or cross members support right here is kind of half painted and half not, you can see right there. So I'll probably just follow that line up around there and then kind of along this edge here. That's the boundary there. So this all needs to be painted, obviously. I didn't paint this. I painted this corner back here, so probably, I don't know. I may end up doing this whole piece right here just to make it easy. So I can pretty much mask this guy off. I don't think I painted that last time. So all of this stuff is already in single stage, so I don't need to do anything there. Choices. I think there's the line right there. Not so worried about that. Up inside here, I'm not that bothered. I don't even remember what I did up in there. This up here. So anyway, there's a pretty convoluted mess of stuff there. So I don't exactly know what I want to do. But first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and shoot that with some epoxy down there, because I forgot to do that last time. Get that done, and then while that is curing, then I'll go ahead and get the rest of the car masked and scuffed and everything and ready to go. And so that takes about an hour before I can top coat it, and that's probably how long it's going to take me to get this thing all scuffed and masked. Anyway, a lot of rambling there, so let me get busy. Alright, so I got this area masked off down here. Found some crud up in that area that I didn't like, so I sanded that down too. So I'm going to shoot a couple coats of epoxy in here, and then there's a couple little spots here and there that didn't look all that great. I'm just going to brush epoxy on there so I don't have to mask everything off. And I began the scuffing process of everywhere else, but until I mask this, I don't exactly know where I'm going to go. I tried to smooth out the edges where there was a hard edge from the epoxy before. This is the bottom of the car here, so I'm not worried about this being perfect, but try and get it as close as I can without working too hard on it. Anyway, so this thing's ready to go. Let's get some epoxy on this, let that go, and then while that's curing, as I said before, then I'll mask the rest of this and get it ready for single stage. Isn't it just typical that the gardener shows up on the day you're painting? Oh well. I've got the garage sealed off reasonably well. Alright, so the epoxy's on. The soft edges on the tape worked out pretty well. Didn't really get any hard lines this time, so that's good. So I'm going to start masking off the rest of it and getting ready for the single stage. Alright, I'll show you the aftermath here. So I was spraying the color blender on here. I hit it too hard here and you see it melted. I should have known better. You're supposed to just dust that stuff on. I hit it a little too hard. Here's a place where I didn't hit it too hard. It blended pretty well. It's not perfect, but it's okay. You can hardly see anything here. Here's the edges where I tried to do the soft edges. And like there. But it's really hard with semi-gloss because you can't buff it, so not really much I can do here. I could try hitting this with some blender and see if it softens it up. Give that a try. I tried dusting a little more on here to see if that would help that edge. You may have softened it a little bit. If you look here, maybe that helped up there. I'm not sure. I think it did help down here. That edge still doesn't look great, but this edge here I think does look better now. Edge right here. I'm trying to touch there. But anyway, this is the bottom of the car, so I'm not terribly concerned. You know, so you're going to see all these places where I tried to do this and failed. But, you know, I think it's okay. Let me get that spot right there. To let that stuff dry to see if that did any good or not. Certainly while it's wet it looks better, but you can certainly see where the lines are. But I didn't really have an alternative here other than spraying the whole bottom of the car, which I didn't really want to do. And I wanted to do this as an experiment anyway to see if you can do a seamless repair here on the semi-gloss. And I think if you can keep it on an edge like I did here with a soft edge and the blender, I think it's okay. And I think that works. And I did it almost perfectly right here. You can barely see anything. And this was not great, but maybe I had too much of a soft edge on it or something, I don't know. But overall, I'd say focus. That looks pretty good. So it's nice to have everything back in the semi-gloss black now instead of the gloss black, but there it is. Bottom of the car is done, as far as I know. Until I find something else that isn't done. Yes, it feels good to have that finally finished. As I've mentioned before, this tail panel here needs to get stripped in epoxy and everything, and I said I was going to do that when it came off the rotisserie. As you can see here, it's all bent all to hell and everything up around here, and I can't really get to it with the rotisserie here. Also, when I do the quarter panel, this is going to get all brutalized back here anyway, so I'm just going to wait and do that later. So, these are, I'll call it a day down here. So next time we're going to pick up on the quarter panel repair, finish the dents up there and that rocker panel, and we're just about done down here, so getting very close. Alright, take it easy, folks.